This is Canada, not India.
You just said out of your own mouth what you said to her. How are you going to tell me?
We didn't say something else.
No, you said she is beautiful. Yes or no?
I said you're looking so beautiful.
Why the fuck would you say that?
I'm sorry for that because we just...
You please get this.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Well, just
Your wife comes to the store.
Yeah, but
wants to pick up a freaking sandwich.
Yeah, but
is she crazy?
Yeah.
That she sits through these fucking compliments, these fucking creeps?
You just give us a compliment.
Why?
They made a mistake.
This is not your fucking country. This is not India or something, dude.
What really happens when a dream destination begins to feel like an overcrowded reality? So Canada, once painted as the ultimate land of opportunity, is now facing what many are calling Indian fatigue. A silent tension is rising, whispered in workplaces, classrooms, and even neighborhoods. It's not just about immigration numbers, it's about identity, it's about culture, and the future of a nation that prides itself on diversity. But is this really fatigue, or is it something much deeper? Something no one dares to say out loud. Stay with me because what I'm about to uncover might shock you.
It's a prestigious building. We do not have food deliveries here.
Then where do we eat?
We go out, we get our own food, or we go to a restaurant.
But some people, just stay at home and they need food, so they ask us to deliver the food. So I'm just doing my job, I'm delivering the food.
Who are you delivering to?
I cannot tell you.
Why?
It's none of your business.
But how do we know we can trust you?
What do you mean how you can trust me? I'm just doing my job, ma'am. Okay, I have to deliver other foods as well. Just let me.
Coming inside my building?
I can. I have the code as well. He
Who
gave me
gave you the code?
The person who ordered the food.
Well, I don't know. I don't think this is right. I'm going to call the police.
What do you mean you're going to call the police?
You could be anybody. You could be a burglar.
I'm not a man. I'm just delivering the food. Come on. This is you're being very unreasonable about this.
Well, I wouldn't give anyone my code.
Yeah, but he did.
Oh, I don't know. We never used to have this in the past. People just coming into our building.
Yeah, but now you are in present. So,
Well,
it's fine. People give the code.
That's very worrying.
That's not worrying.
Well, it's worrying to me.
Yeah, so you can go home and worry there. Just, let me do my job, please.
Well, I'm going to put a note round on the residents committee.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think we should be allowing this.
When you do whatever you want to do, I'll do whatever I want to do. Because this is my job to deliver the food here.
Well, funny job if you ask me.
The fact is that they're all Indians.
Stop being racist.
Why did they all get jobs and why they Canadian?
Because you guys don't work. That's why we get the jobs.
What? Say that again?
Yeah, now you won't understand anything. Why are you being racist?
I'm not racist.
Why are there so many Indians in Canada? What am I missing here? Can somebody please explain why the fuck there's so many Indians here? Please. I gotta understand why. Please tell me. Please. Can somebody please explain?
Guys, when you land at Pearson's Airport in Canada, you literally think you landed in New Delhi. Next time you land at Pearson's, pay attention. You'll realize that majority of the workers are Indian, right? It's like an 80-20 ratio. Like 80% of the workers at Pearson's Airport, scanning your body and freaking doing all that stuff at the check-in and check-out are Indian. Not only that, the workers are Indian, but the whole airport demographic is Indian too. Genuinely pay attention. If you want an honest answer, I'd say for every 10 people, there's like 6 to 7 Indian people. So I don't know what's happening to this country, but it does not feel like you landed back in Canada. It literally feels like you landed somewhere in the middle of nowhere in India.
I can't wait till all those Indians go back home, because then all you Canadians will actually have no one left to blame. Because then you'll realize that all these things that you're actually blaming these students for, lack of housing, lack of jobs, cost of living, inflation, you having no sex life, actually wasn't their fault at all. It actually was the fault of a federal government who literally continues to favor billionaire corporations and doesn't make them pay their fair share. It actually was the fault of people like Doe Ford bleeding out the healthcare system, continuing to prop up their developer buddies without building affordable housing, of government programs that colleges and governments and shady recruiters all took advantage of, and that the vast majority of these kids were just hard-working students who were actually propping up our economy, working their asses off, and getting treated like absolute shit in some of the most disgusting racism I have ever seen, stoked by far-right online hate groups, and that this country is actually going to be worse off for the way we have treated them and for making this place so inhospitable for so many of them.
Canada has long been painted as the land of opportunity, a place where immigrants, especially from India, flock in search of education, in search of jobs, and a better life. But recently, a powerful undercurrent has been rising because Canadians are beginning to whisper, to murmur, and in some cases to openly complain about what's being called Indian fatigue. Yes, you heard that right, Indian fatigue. And so a growing sense of exhaustion, of cultural friction, of saturation that no one wants to admit openly, but everyone seems to be feeling. So the story of Indian migration to Canada is one of ambition and resilience. And every year, tens of thousands of Indian students and skilled workers arrive, filling classrooms, workplaces, and even neighborhoods. And their contribution to Canada's economy is undeniable. That's a fact. And from tech to healthcare, from logistics to small businesses, Indians are holding up vital sectors of Canadian society. But here's the twist. The very success of this migration has led to a backlash. Not always hostile, but quietly resentful. Canadians are beginning to say their cities feel like they're losing balance. They speak of classrooms filled with majority Indian students, of job markets where competition feels tilted, and of housing markets where demand from international students have driven rents sky high. And for many, it's no longer just immigration, it's an overwhelming cultural shift. But is this really about fatigue or about fear? So some argue that the narrative of Indian fatigue masks deeper anxieties, economic inequality, Canadians' struggling house crisis, and a sense of losing cultural identity where a wave of newcomers thrives quickly. The locals often feel displaced, and while Canada has always celebrated diversity, the scale and pace of Indian migration has raised eyebrows even among those who once prided themselves on multicultural values. And then there is the media. Mainstream outlets are cautionally reporting on these tensions, while social media is exploding with raw unfiltered takes. So some Canadians vent about being unable to find affordable rentals because landlords prefer renting to groups of Indian students who can split costs. Others point to universities becoming overly reliant on international fees, creating classrooms where domestic students feel outnumbered. And at the same time, many Indians feel they're unfairly stereotyped because reduced to numbers instead of individuals with dreams, struggles, and even stories. And the real question is, how sustainable is this situation? If Canadians are already speaking of fatigue, what happens in the next 5 years when migration continues to rise? Could this resentment harden into something uglier, cultural divisions, discrimination, or even policy shifts? Or will Canada adapt, finding a balance between welcoming Indian talent and addressing local concerns? So the phrase Indian fatigue is more than just words. It's a warning. It's a sign of a country wrestling with its identity, its resources, and its values. It's a reminder that immigration, while powerful and transformative, always comes with friction. The voices of Canadians expressing unease are not just complaints. They are signals of pressure points that, if ignored, could fracture a very multicultural dream Canada prides itself on. And so ask yourself, when opportunity and resentment collide, what future does we create? Is this the beginning of cultural fatigue that reshapes Canada forever, or is it just a passing moment of adjustment? One thing is clear, the conversation around Indian fatigue in Canada is only just beginning, and it's one that no one can afford to ignore.